Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jazmin. If you have no idea who I am, I'm a first generation low income undergraduate at Stanford University, and I made this channel to help other first generation low income students get better access to higher education through my college related videos. For today's video, I'm going to give you guys 6 tips that I use for my finals week, and finals week specifically that is online. So I'm currently a second year here at Stanford University, and so far half of my experience has been online. So I did 2 quarters at Stanford before moving out and getting evacuated from Stanford because of the COVID pandemic. And now I have 2 quarters that are online. That means that I have 2 weeks worth of finals that I have done online. Now, a lot of the tips that I also used when I was taking finals in person. So this can definitely be applicable if you're still taking in-person classes, wherever that is. The reason why I'm doing this video is because I just finished my quarter and I just went through finals week, but I know a lot of schools are still doing finals currently, and I thought this video would be helpful. For clarification, I am a psychology major with a minor in education, so a lot of my finals have been very humanities based, a lot of reports, a lot of papers, but I did reach out to some friends in STEM and they also have some advice for you guys. So here are the 6 tips that I have. So the first tip that I have for you guys, and it's not in any particular order, is that you need to plan your week ahead of time, and you need to plan it like day by day, possibly hour by hour. Or you can do this on an agenda or a post-it note, but preferably something that's more solid so that you can really commit yourself to it once you write it down. Personally, I have an agenda, but I don't religiously use it. So I usually either write it down on post-it notes or I use spoken affirmations. So I wake up in the morning and I tell myself, today I'm going to do this, this, and this. And that basically sets myself up to actually do these things because I already told myself that I was going to do them, so now I kind of feel like I have to do them. A lot of people don't have physical agendas either. They can use stuff like Google Calendar or the calendar on Outlook, and those are options too. So whatever you think works best for you, I recommend you do that and plan yourself ahead of time, your schedule, are you available, when are you absolutely not available. And that goes into my second tip, which is you should divide your final into parts if this is possible. So if you have a final paper or a final project, a lot of times you don't want to squish it all in the day before or the day that it's due. You should divide it into parts. So for one of my classes, for example, was a 3-part project, and I divided that throughout the week and I dedicated certain days to certain parts of the project. And on the final day, all I had to do was review all of it and make sure that I didn't have any grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, or any general mistakes like formatting. And that's how I turned it in. I didn't wait until the last day to do all of it and do it all at once, because that can be very overwhelming, especially if you're writing a final paper. A lot of times you can be writing this paper at 2 in the morning or something, and then it sounds like a great idea, it sounds like you're making so much sense, and then you read it the morning after and it's like, what am I talking about? It really does not make sense. And sometimes that happens. I know it definitely happens to me all the time. So I prefer to write my essay in different parts, usually in 2 different parts. So I write the first half one day and the second half the other day, and then I sleep on it, I step away from it, and then I review it either at the end of the day or the morning after, and I make sure that everything makes sense and everything flows the way that I want it to flow. So if you divide your work into parts, you're gonna feel a lot more productive because you have certain mini goals for yourself throughout the day or for each day of the week, and that can help you organize your week so you don't feel so overwhelmed. And talking about organization, my third tip is if you're taking timed exams or any type of exam, and that is to organize your notes. So a lot of universities right now are doing timed exams that are open note because they are online and they can't really monitor who is or who is not cheating. So a lot of universities open the tests so that you can see your notes, review your homework, or whatever that is. And this could be a very good thing or a very bad thing, because sometimes, because it's open note, professors like to make the test harder, but if you organize your notes beforehand, it's gonna save you a lot of time, because when you're taking a timed exam, you won't have to be scrambling through all of your papers and looking for a certain piece of information. But if you organize your notes, that also counts as studying, because you are in the presence of the material and you're rereading it, reviewing it, making sure that everything is into categories or in some type of order that you want it to be. So I definitely recommend doing that and having all of those things right beside you when you're taking your exam, so you don't have to like go all the way to your backpack and open it and then make sure your notes are out. Just make sure everything's organized before your exam. And talking about these timed exams, my fourth point, and probably one of my best ones, is to take these practice exams seriously. So a lot of professors have practice exams or hand out practice exams before the actual final. And these are so helpful because you can know all of the knowledge that there is, or all of the content that there is of the course, but practice exams help you apply this knowledge, help you see what kind of problems are going to be on the final and how you should approach these problems when you're taking the actual exam. Sometimes your professor won't explicitly give you a practice exam beforehand. Sometimes you have to request it, and if your professor still does not give you a practice exam for some reason, then you can ask either a TA or someone else who has already previously taken that course and see if they have saved the PDF from when they took the exam. Because really, practice exams are just exams that are previously used from other years and other finals, and they just change the questions, but they're basically about the same thing. They have the same type of problems, and it helps you prepare and apply your knowledge. When you're taking the practice exam, when the first time you receive it and the first time you decide to take it, I also recommend timing yourself so that you know what kind of pace you should have while you're taking the actual final, and you can measure how much time certain problems take you to do and certain other problems might not. So I did a chemistry final, not online, in person, but I still took that final, and the first part was multiple choice and the other parts were free response questions, and I learned to take a lot less time on the multiple choice and focus a lot more on the free response questions through these practice exams because I was able to pace myself out and practice pacing myself. Once you took the practice exam for the first time, then you can meet up with some friends in that class and have a Zoom meeting and go over certain problems that you might be stuck on. I know for me at least, group work on practice exams was super helpful, and that might not be the case for you, but that's how I approached it. When you're doing these review sessions, I also recommend going back to your homework and looking over the hardest problems that were on the homework, because a lot of times some finals actually sample out of the homework that you guys have previously done, and you don't want to take the exam and be like, oh my god, this problem was on the homework but I don't remember how to do it. So you want to redo those homework problems and try to not look at the answer if you already have the answer, and see how quickly you can do it the second time so that you get that practice again and you will be more prepared when you take the actual final. My sixth tip and my last tip is for people who are doing final projects. So if you are working in a group, my biggest tip is to communicate with your group. I know it's kind of awkward, especially if you're a freshman, but if you're also taking classes where you have absolutely no one in that class and you don't know anybody, but you have to work in a group, I say you just get over that awkwardness and get straight to the point, because everyone benefits from a good grade, and it's going to be hard to do that if everyone is awkward to each other. So you need to communicate with your group and make sure that you find everyone's strengths so that they can work on the best part of that project and make the best of it. For group projects, you can make a group chat, you can have regular Zoom meetings just to check in on progress, where everyone is at, and just keep up with each other. Like I said, communicate and keep that good relationship with each other and make sure that you're doing your part. I hope this video was helpful. Please let me know down in the comments below. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, FirstGenFirst, or on Twitter, FirstGenFirst1. I changed the Twitter handle. Anyways, or send us an email at info@firstgenfirst.org. Bye! Video would be helpful for clarification.